of applause, Paddy, the Baddy, Pimblett!
By submission, we will do the become Paddy, the Baddy.
You know what we say, lad? I'm a scouser. We don't get knocked out.
Here we go, here we go. Oh, it's still going. Do you ever get tired of watching yourself?
Try not to be so vain and big-headed and watch myself all the time, like, but yeah, it can be when people are putting in your face, but when you're looking back and watching stuff that you've done, it always gives you the warm, fuzzy feeling inside.
I can imagine, and looking out at this sea of faces now, I mean, it's something I'm sure you must be used to by now, but that must be an incredible feeling, something that you've probably been dreaming of for a long time.
Yeah, as I say, people always ask me, oh, what's it like having crowds like this and stuff like that, but I always saw this in my future. I always knew I was going to have crowds like this sitting, listening to me talk, and I'd have crowds of 20,000 people watching me fight. It was just always going to happen, and this is just the start.
Yes, it is, and we'll get on to that amazing self-belief that you have very shortly, but first, I'd really like to know who Paddy was before Paddy the Baddy. What were you like as a kid?
I don't know, some of my mates are over there, they'll be able to tell you it's probably better than I am. But yeah, just a young lad from Liverpool, and I didn't start training MMA until I was 15. We was little reprobates by ours up until that age. And then
That's what I was wondering, were you naughty? Were you a cheeky one at school?
Yeah, it was just one of them things. We were the pingers back in the day, but as I say, when I turned 15 I started doing MMA and I didn't want to do anything else.
What was it about MMA then that hooked you in?
To be honest, I watched the fight, Diego Sanchez versus Clay Guida, and they just tried to kill each other, like just swinging bombs at each other, and I watched it and was like, I need to have a go with that. That looks boss. A lot of other people wouldn't have thought that, but I did, because I was quite strange.
And did you have that self-belief even from the early days? Maybe not sort of looking as far ahead in the future as you do now, but you know, each competition, each fight that you went into, did you have that strong sense of self?
Yeah, like the first ever tournaments I done were jiu-jitsu tournaments for like kids, like under 16, and then I've done a few juvenile ones and stuff, but from the moment I won my first fight, I knew, you know what I mean, that was what I was meant to do. I got my hand raised, and there's no feeling like getting your hand raised. It's just, I can't describe it. And from that moment on, I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
And it's amazing, you're like two different people in and out, you know, of the octagon. You are. I mean, it's like a switch flicks, and you go into a different mode. Talk us through that.
Well, yeah, I feel like I go on autopilot, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, when I'm walking out, I'm enjoying myself, I'm having a good time, you know what I mean? I'm bouncing out, and then when the cage door shuts, nothing else matters. You know what I mean? No one in the arena matters anymore. Just a fella standing in front of me that's trying to take my head clean off. So I have to just focus on him. That's what I do.
And no room for doubt.
No room for doubt. I always say it, if you're in like a fighting sport, boxing, Muay Thai, MMA, and you don't think that you are the best in the world, you're in the wrong sport. You can't go into any fight with a 1% of self-doubt, because when it comes to fight or flight in the fight, you'll quit.
And it's not just about winning fights though, is it? You put on a show. I mean, have you always been an entertainer?
I tried to be, like, I wasn't when I was an amateur, because it was, well, I was outside of the cage, but when I was an amateur, I didn't finish as many people. I'd done a lot of decisions, and then as soon as I went pro, I was just finishing people, and I think I'd rather be in a loss in a very exciting fight than win a very, very boring fight over 3 rounds on decision. Yeah.
And so, you know, in some of your fights, it almost looks like, you know, you're wanting to make a spectacle of it, you're sort of biding your time. Is that fair to say? Or is that a ridiculous question?
Yeah, I'll just say yeah to that because it makes me look boss, doesn't it? I just wait and do it when I want to do it. Nah, and obviously if I could have finished Jordan Levitt in the first round, I would have finished him in the first round. It's just how things happen. But I don't care who you put me in there with, that I've got full belief that I'm going to win.
And people compare you a lot to Conor McGregor, don't they? What are your thoughts on that?
It's been happening since I was about 19, 20, 21, so I'm used to people comparing me to Conor, but I always say it, like, there'll never be another Conor McGregor. He's Conor McGregor. There's only one Paddy the Baddy. There's never going to be another one of me. It's that simple.
Absolutely. Okay, Paddy the Baddy, talk us through Paddy the Baddy, the hair. Talk us through the hair. Was that a conscious decision? Is it a tactical move?
No. Everyone by ours just started growing their hair. Like, literally. All the lads started growing their hair, we all started growing our hair, and it suits me. When I have a skinhead, it looks stupid. You know what I mean? Look, I've got a proper M-head. You know what I mean? I need the fringe, but it's a trademark now anyway. I can't get the hair cut. No one would even recognise me anymore. Like, who's he?
You say that, but I'm sure you said that you once debated cornrows, am I right?
Yeah, I debated cornrows, and I probably, in the future, I'll debate them again. It depends on what opponent I'm fighting. If I'm fighting someone that I think I'll go to decision with, and my hair doing this is going to affect the judges, then I'll get cornrows. But for now, all these crabs are getting finished.
Love it, love it. Okay, so let's talk about your career, because it's just been incredible to watch, and it's happened so quickly, or at least it looks like that from the outside. Does it feel like that from where you're?
No, it's been a long road, a long journey. You know what I mean? I had my first fight when I was 16, went pro when I was 17. I was a world champion when I was 21. You know what I mean? So, even though it looks like to everyone else on the outside that it's like an overnight sensation thing and it's just happened, it hasn't. I've been training hard to do this for 12 years and I'm just finally reaping the rewards now.
And Cage Warriors, I mean, you say that, you know, it's been a long time coming and your career's taken a while to get to where you are, but you've shown a huge sense of maturity really in the decisions that you've made so far in your career. Has that been something that's been conscious? Is that something, have you taught yourself that maturity?
No. I was very immature up until about 2 years ago. That was thanks to my coaches and my loved ones, my fiance, my friends, my family, everyone around me. Like, I was very immature up until about 3 months ago. I didn't used to listen to anyone, never used to take anyone's advice. I was always right. So, without the people around me, I don't know where I'd be now.
And let's talk about those pivotal moments then where you changed your mindset and your approach. Obviously you did incredibly in Cage Warriors, but when you lost that title, that was a pivotal moment for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, both. I had 2 title fights, I lost 2 5-round title fights, and after both of them I had to just reevaluate things, you know what I mean? Like, the first loss I had, I wasn't a true fighter, I wasn't being a pro, I was out every weekend partying, killing myself to make the weight, not really being a professional. And then when I fought back, I was going into it injured, didn't listen to anyone when they were all telling me to pull out, just said no when I fight. And after that I went into a deep dark depression because of it, and like literally them 2 losses though are the pivotal changes in my life, or have changed my life for the better. So looking back in hindsight now, I wouldn't change it.
That's amazing. And, you know, I was talking about mature decisions. I mean, you refused a contract from the UFC. Was it twice you refused? I mean, that's
twice. Twice.
I mean, that's a brave thing to do, though.
Yeah, people said I was an idiot, you know what I mean? People slated me for it, especially after Back beat me. People was like, oh, he's never going to get in the UFC, should have went then, should have went then. I even had my own little bit of doubt in the back of my mind, because I was injured and stuff. I was thinking, oh, I'll never get in the UFC now, but I always knew that it was going to happen. I always knew I'd get signed by the UFC, I always knew it was going to blow up. I didn't know it was going to be at the NEC in Birmingham and the Arnold, but I knew I'd be sitting in front of a crowd like this, chatting shite. You know what I mean?
It's amazing, really, isn't it? And you know, so when you did finally take that contract and you had your first fight in Vegas, I mean, what an incredible experience that must have been. Was there a moment where you changed in terms of, okay, you know, I need to do something differently now, or I need to find another level, you know, to prove myself? Because everybody was saying, right, let's see what he's got then, you know, here he is.
I just knew it was going to turn up and rip shit up, you know what I mean? There's no one like me in the UFC. You've never had anyone like me in the UFC. And it's that simple, you know what I mean? Like, literally, I'm one of a kind, and the sport's going to have a big explosion thanks to me over the next few years, and I can't wait.
Do you have any advice for anyone out there who's maybe embarking on their own career in MMA or boxing or, you know, another combat sport, and they're not sure if they've got what it takes? Any advice for them?
Well, I've been asked about 4 times today, what's the best bit of advice you've ever been given? And it's not like the best bit of advice I've ever been given. The best bit of advice I give out is like, believe in yourself. You've got to be confident. If you're going into something thinking, oh, I might do this, you're not going to do it. You have to go into something thinking, I'm going to do this, I'm going to smash its head in, and no one's going to stop me. And then you'll do it.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm actually going to, in a minute, open up the floor to questions from people, because I know that there's a lot of questions out there and people would love to ask them. But first, I just want to give you a chance to give your message, because you're a fighter with a mission. You know, you've got your own messages and you've got an amazing platform now. Mental health is a big thing that you advocate for. Why have you arrived at that as being your campaign and your cause, and something that you want to fight for and talk about?
Just because it's something that no one talks about, you know what I mean? It's a bit mad, to be honest, because a lot of people are praising me for talking about it, when I don't think it should be getting praised, because everyone should be talking about it. There's loads and loads of people that are killing themselves, but no one's asked, you know what I mean? I shouldn't be getting praised for talking about men's mental health. Everyone should be talking about it anyway. It shouldn't have to get praised about it, because everyone should speak up anyway. That's the only thing that does me head in about it. Like, the amount of people I know in Liverpool over the past couple of years who've took their own lives, it's scary.
Yeah, it is, and like you say, it's something that needs to be talked about, and also the thing that you're encouraging is people need to talk.
Yeah.
You know, themselves, if they're feeling a certain way, they need to get it off their chest and have someone to support.
That's me saying, get it off your chest. As soon as you get it off your chest, let someone else feel the burden of what you're thinking. You'll wake up the next morning like you've got a 20-kg weight lifted off your chest.
It's really important, and well done for using your platform to kind of promote an important...
As I say, anyone with the sort of platform I've got should be doing something to help someone. It's nice to be nice.
Absolutely, 100%. Okay, so I do want to open it up to the floor to give people a chance to have a chat, but I feel like the room needs a little bit of warming up. What do we think? We need to get people moving. So I'm going to suggest everybody get up on your feet, if you can. Up on your feet. Paddy, you too, come on.